Hi there, I'm Adam Bushell, and I'm going to be looking at some ghost note ideas with you today. Ghost notes are basically notes that are a lot quieter than other notes. They're sometimes called grace notes, and they're used in a drumming sense to enhance the time flow of a groove that you're playing, or some fills that you're playing, or some accent patterns that you're playing. And they just help the thing flow along a little bit better. That opening piece that I was playing there, you could tell that there was a lot of different dynamics in it. There was loud notes and there was quiet notes, lots of ghost notes, and it just helps the thing flow a little bit better. So that's the first thing, what a ghost note is, or a grace note as it's sometimes called. A quiet note, a very quiet note. So a ghost note on its own would be something like that, just very quiet, predominantly played on the snare drum, and used, like I said, within rhythms and fills and things like that. So what I'm going to do first of all is play a basic groove, something that you could play, and then I'm going to add ghost notes to it so you can just see how the thing kind of transforms and becomes a little bit more interesting. Okay. Putting dynamics in your playing like this, I think that's the key to a good groove. I think is the contrast in dynamics. Being able to put these loud and soft notes in is very important. So first of all, this is the basic groove that I'm going to work with today. Goes something like this. Now there's no ghost notes in this. Here we go. Okay, pretty simple. Notice one thing, on the hi-hat line, I'm playing eighth notes on the hi-hat. Now that's got dynamics in it as well. You've got a loud quarter note and a quieter offbeat eighth note. And that's the kind of purpose of this exercise, is to put these dynamics in. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now, I'm going to take that same groove and I'm going to put some ghost notes in on the snare. Now I'm just going to start gently with this. I'm going to put in a couple of ghost notes into that one bar pattern and see if you'll get it, you'll understand the difference. So this is what it sounds like with some added ghost notes. Okay, so just a couple of little ghost notes in there. I'll just isolate the hands. So there's just two little ghost notes in there. The key to getting these ghost notes accurate and at the right dynamic is when you play a loud note, you've got to keep the hand down next to the snare so you can play the quiet ghost notes after it. Okay, so I'm playing those loud backbeats, but I'm leaving my hand down next to the snare so I can play those ghost notes in there. Okay, so that's part of the trick with this. So do try and concentrate on that. Okay, I'm gonna keep adding ghost notes now to that same groove, putting them in some different places. The places that I'm putting the ghost notes in are in between the hi-hat line, so they're on the offbeat 16th. So it shouldn't create too much difficulty for you to begin with, because the hands are just moving against each other. So here's that same groove again with some more ghost notes in it. Okay, so I think even that groove, when you compare it to the opening groove, the groove we just had with those ghost notes, is a big difference. So they're the kind of easy positions for the ghost notes. There are some others you can add as well. You can add some ghost notes immediately after the backbeats, which is a little bit more difficult to put in. You've got to play the backbeat and play a ghost note immediately after it with the same hand. So effectively the backbeats become like this. Okay, so that's how I'm going to play the backbeats, the backbeats rather. So here we go again, that same groove with the ghost notes and the ghost note after the backbeat. Okay, so again, coming to life all the more. There's one other ghost note you can put in as well. Getting pretty tricky now. The ghost note that I left out there was the one exactly before the backbeat. So putting a ghost note in before the backbeat, then playing the backbeat itself, then putting a ghost note in after it involves 3 hits with the left hand. Quiet, loud, quiet. Quiet, loud, quiet. Okay, gets pretty tricky from a technical point of view, so I'll take it slowly. This is what it sounds like. Okay, so you can hear it's quite busy. The left hand is pretty busy, but it's a vast difference from the that we started with. Okay, massive difference. So just putting in a few ghost notes like that to any of your grooves will make a real big difference to how the thing's going to sound. But try to remember, you have to play them quietly in contrast to the loud backbeat. You've got to have backbeats as nice and loud, ghost notes nice and quiet, and that's the way it's really going to work. So I'll sign off for now. Just do a little bit more playing with some ghost notes in it. Hope you enjoy it. See you on the next one.